The United States is poised to make a significant shift in its foreign policy regarding military sales, particularly in the Middle East. For years, Israel was the only country in the region to receive the coveted F-35 fighter jets, which are renowned for their advanced stealth technology and capabilities. But now US President Donald Trump has announced that he plans to reverse this policy, opening the door for Saudi Arabia to purchase these sophisticated aircraft. In a statement that has already sparked a mix of approval and concern, President Trump made it clear that Saudi Arabia's desire to acquire the F-35s would be met with approval. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. They want to buy. They're a great ally, Trump declared. His words reflect the growing ties between the US and Saudi Arabia, a relationship that has long been grounded in mutual economic and strategic interests. However, the implications of this move are far-reaching and controversial. President Trump also highlighted Saudi Arabia's alignment with US interests in the Middle East, particularly in relation to the ongoing tensions with Iran. Look at the situation in Iran, what we've done in terms of destroying their nuclear capabilities, Trump added, referring to the US administration's actions to curb Iran's nuclear ambitions. This rhetoric underscores the strategic importance of the US-Saudi relationship and the role that military sales such as the F-35s play in maintaining that alliance. The F-35 fighter jet, developed by Lockheed Martin, is a fifth-generation aircraft designed for air superiority, ground attack, and intelligence gathering. Its stealth capabilities make it one of the most advanced and expensive military jets in the world. The United States' decision to sell the F-35 to Saudi Arabia represents a significant departure from its long-standing policy of limiting the spread of such advanced weapon systems in the region, particularly to nations that do not have formal peace agreements with Israel. This shift in policy comes at a time of heightened tensions in the Middle East, particularly surrounding the ongoing conflict in Gaza. Saudi Arabia, despite its deepening ties with the US, has not officially normalized relations with Israel. The US sees this as a pivotal moment in the Middle East peace process, and President Trump views the sale of the F-35s as a potential leverage point to encourage Saudi Arabia to take a step toward normalization with Israel. Trump's meeting with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, set to take place at the White House, is expected to be a key moment in these discussions. The US president's goal is to persuade the Crown Prince to make significant moves toward diplomatic relations with Israel, which would be a major breakthrough in the region's geopolitics. However, this goal is complicated by the ongoing conflict in Gaza, which has long been a stumbling block in the normalization of relations between Saudi Arabia and Israel. In the context of these high-stakes negotiations, Trump's rhetoric has been a blend of strategic calculation and political pressure. He has framed the F-35 sale as a reward for Saudi Arabia's continued support and cooperation with the United States. By highlighting the importance of the Saudi alliance, Trump seeks to emphasize the mutual benefits of closer ties, particularly in the face of Iran's growing influence in the region. Yet this potential deal has raised significant concerns, especially in Israel. For decades, Israel has maintained a technological edge over its neighbors, and the F-35 has been a central part of that advantage. The prospect of Saudi Arabia acquiring the same fighter jets has sparked fears in Israel that this balance of power could be upset. Israeli officials have voiced their concerns, urging the US to consider the long-term implications of such a sale, particularly in the context of regional security dynamics. The US has historically been cautious about arms sales to Middle Eastern countries, especially in cases where the transfer of advanced weaponry could alter the military balance in a way that undermines Israeli security. However, with the shifting geopolitical landscape and the growing ties between the US and Saudi Arabia, this caution appears to be diminishing. As President Trump prepares for his meeting with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, the outcome of these discussions could have far-reaching implications for both US foreign policy and the broader Middle East. The sale of the F-35s to Saudi Arabia could be seen as a reward for the kingdom's continued alignment with American interests, particularly in the face of Iran's influence. At the same time, it could serve as a diplomatic tool to encourage Saudi Arabia to take steps toward a formal peace agreement with Israel, a move that would mark a historic shift in the region's geopolitics. But the road to such an agreement is far from clear. The situation in Gaza remains a major obstacle, with many in the Arab world viewing Israel's actions in the region as a barrier to peace. Saudi Arabia's position on the Palestinian issue, which has long been a cornerstone of its foreign policy, will likely play a crucial role in any decision to normalize relations with Israel. The US will need to tread carefully, balancing its strategic goals with the sensitivities of the region. As the US moves forward with this historic decision to sell F-35 fighter jets to Saudi Arabia, the implications are profound. On one hand, it strengthens the U.S. Saudi alliance and positions the kingdom as a key player in the Middle East. On the other hand, it raises questions about the long-term impact on regional security, particularly with respect to Israel's security concerns. In addition to the military implications, the F-35 deal could also have significant economic consequences. The sale of these advanced jets is expected to be worth billions of dollars, and such a deal would further cement the economic ties between the US and Saudi Arabia. It would also serve as a major boon for the American defense industry, which stands to gain significantly from the sale of these cutting-edge fighter jets. However, the political ramifications of this sale are likely to be felt well beyond the US and Saudi Arabia. In Israel, the F-35 sale has already become a contentious issue, with many viewing it as a direct challenge to the country's long-held military superiority in the region. The Israeli government has expressed its concerns that the sale could embolden Saudi Arabia and other regional actors, potentially leading to an arms race in the Middle East. Furthermore, the potential sale of the F-35s to Saudi Arabia could have broader implications for US relations with other Middle Eastern countries. Countries such as Iran and Turkey, who view Saudi Arabia with suspicion, may see the sale as a provocative move, further exacerbating tensions in the region. As President Trump prepares to move forward with the F-35 sale, the situation remains fluid. While the deal has the potential to reshape the balance of power in the Middle East, it also comes with significant risks. The US will need to carefully navigate these challenges, balancing its strategic interests with the concerns of its allies and partners in the region. Ultimately, the decision to sell F-35 fighter jets to Saudi Arabia will be a defining moment in President Trump's foreign policy legacy. It will test the administration's ability to manage the delicate balance of power in the Middle East while advancing its broader strategic objectives. Whether this decision will lead to a new era of stability or further exacerbate the region's tensions remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: the US is on the brink of a major shift in its approach to military sales and diplomacy in the Middle East, and the outcome of this decision will have lasting consequences for years to come.